Hi again, welcome back to part 2 of the trying to sort out one good Stihl blower out of 2. It's a BG86 Stihl handheld blower. So I've got to the stage now where I've well, we saw it last time that it's all separated now. This is all cleaned. I sprayed it out with some carb cleaner and just blown it out with the compressor just in case there was any little bits in there. I've just sprayed off the just waiting for it to sort of dry. That I'll wipe it out in a minute. That's the new pot, and I just sprayed it over with some carb cleaner just in case there was anything in there. Same goes for the piston, and that's my job now. I want to fit the piston on here. Goes, I'll just get a bit of paper towel. Bear with me a second. Give that. We go back to the arrow. The arrow is there, so it's going to go on that way. So what I've got to do now is I've just got to get the little end bearing, small one, and the pin, which I did have a second ago, but I mislaid it. So I'll just get them organised, and I'll be back with you. So we are a little bit more organised now. I've got the small end bearing there. I'm just gonna dip that in some oil I've put in there just to give it a head start sort of thing. So that can go in there like so. I just think it's wise to sort of give it a bit of a head start, to, you know, to sort of gain its own lubricant as it gets going. I've got to see where this pin goes, because yeah, it only goes through from one side, so this will go through from the back like so. So it'll be easy enough. Just there we go, that's in. So the piston's on, it's the right way. Just make sure you don't put it on the wrong way. I know that shaft there was the one that went to the fan, so I've actually got the other machine, a spares machine there, so I know which side. It's not hard anyway, but if you don't know, the carburetor side would be this side and the exhaust side would be this side. So I've got to that stage. I've got to do this little pin now, and then we are getting on quite well. I'll just rest it under there a minute. I've got it in the bag, it's very tiny, so I don't want to ping it. Quite sure the best way to do it yet. I think I'll just get a screwdriver and sort of ease it in there like that. What screwdriver is best? That one would be best. It's a little bit dirty, but I think it'll be okay. The weather is atrocious today, so it was a good opportunity to come out here and see if I can sort this out. It just doesn't want to go in at the moment. Not sure whether I'm going about it the right way. Perhaps the compressor keeps getting an annoying leak, and I wondered what it was. So yeah, you've got to sort of squeeze it in here. I've done it before, but bigger engines have like little tab bits more on them. These don't. I think I'm best off just trying to do it by hand. I apologise if I am out of shot. I apologise because my other light has just run out of battery, but I think you can see okay. I think I'm going to have to lift this up to do it, so you're just going to have to, if you look there, you can see that pin goes in there. I'm going to pin clip. So I'll do that off camera and then I'll show you when it's in. Yeah, but I had to lift it up nearer to me to sort of do it, but I just sort of pushed it and then put, sort of at a slight angle, then pushed it in with that screwdriver, and it's in there now. I'll just double check that everything's good, because you don't want the clip coming out, but it all looks... yep, all looks pretty good to me. So that is in. So what I'm going to do now is just dry everything off from where I put the carb spray, and then I'm going to try and get the pot on. And also, in the meantime, I've got to put the gasket on as well. So I'll get that in place and then I should be back with you. So what I've done is just smeared some of this stuff around. This is the stuff I think Stihl recommend, or something very similar. It's Durco HT Red. And yeah, it does. You don't need much, and it does smooth on there really nicely. So I can at least stick that sort of into place now. I've tried using other sort of gasket maker type stuff before, and it, to be honest, just hasn't ever been right. So I looked up what the proper stuff you should use, and it come up with this stuff, and it's the same colour as I've seen on Stihl. So yeah, I went for that. So now I'll just get everything dried out on the pot and everything, and then I'll just blow it out with the airline as well. Right off a bit. I'll just turn you off while I'm doing that, and I'll be back with you. Now here comes the tricky bit, trying to get the rings in. Sometimes they go easy, sometimes they don't. I'm not going to, when I get it on, I'm not going to push it all the way in, because I'm going to put a bit of the gasket stuff on top of there, or on the pot, just before I close it up together. But let's work out, that's the carb side because of that. So that's the way it's got to go, like that. And let's see if we can do this. Okay, let's go again. I've I'll make sure it's the right way around, and yeah, I've got the cable tie on, I think, a bit better now, so let's give it a go. Past one again. It doesn't like that to get past that second one. Not far off though. We're in. Oh, I don't know whether you got that on camera or not, but it's on. So there. So I'll just have a bit of a clear up and everything, because that was a little bit of a pain of a job to do, and then I'll be back with you. So because the sort of well, it's not really a sump because it doesn't hold oil, but it's the bottom part of the engine, bottom part of the crankcase, and that has come off in all that process. So what I'm going to do is actually work and put it upside down and sort of connect it like that, because both these areas are clean. So if I can just put a bit of that red stuff just round there. You can probably just see how I'm doing that. I'll do that off camera and then I'll be back with you. So getting a bit of a mess with this red stuff. I've got it all back together. I'm just about actually now to put the new head bolts in, so it seals together. Then I'll give the just a bit of a wipe over to get rid of some of that red stuff. Actually, for the first one in the impact, one decided I thought it was a little bit harsh. It's been okay, but I just think I'm going to just do it by hand. Just put it in the box off, sort of cut their own, rid of it. But I didn't even look to see what it was like in the pot. It could be, I don't think the actual thread's in there. I think what it does is because aluminium just cuts its own thread. Just to be safe, I'll do it by hand. There may be a torque setting, but I'm just going to go tight. Everything's got a little sort of, like I said before, the sort of bottom of the crankcase fell off, so I think I've got all that okay. So I've given everything a good old clean up now. You can see it's all back together. They are tight. I will just try test it once more just to check, and then we can start reassembling the whole lot. They are tight. I'm just being paranoid that I didn't think they were tight. So yeah, so we can get this thing back together now. So let's see how you're thinking. You can always zoom in a little bit on there this time. So that block goes back on. I left it all together. Thought there was no need to actually no need to mess about taking it all apart. So I'll give that a bit of a clean up and a bit. So if you're using these to do things like this, just, well, that one might have to re-thread itself new, but for some reason they don't seem to want to go in. I think this might be a case of actually, I think I know what the problem might be. Yep, it's the same as the other. I thought I was going to put them in like that, but doesn't seem to be the case because I have to re-thread it. And these like cut the threads themselves, but so that bit is back on. That's where these are good, because the other ones, like I said, the 18-volt ones, I find are too harsh. So that's got that back on. This can go back on now. I don't believe there was anything behind that. There wasn't. So we've got you might just be able to see that little keyway bit in there. So let's get that in the right position wherever it goes. Before I do that, I'm going to find out which nut that was there, because if you remember rightly, we had a normal thread one with a left hand thread. That is the one. They actually are slightly different. One has got like the washer bit built in, the other one hasn't. So move a bit. So make sure I got this right again. There we go. I should impact this on. So I think it's 13mm. So yep, that's done now. We can turn it over now. Nice bit of compression there. So yeah, we're getting there now, really. What I'm going to have to do now, I think, is get the main base of the machine back up here, and then I'll give that a clean up, and then we'll get this back onto the base or the main machine. I've given it a little bit of a wipe over. To be honest, it's pretty clean in there. I'm happy with how it is in there. I don't think the machine's had a lot of use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can get it on without actually taking the carb off, because I'll let you know what I plan to do in a minute. Slide that on a little bit tight. It might not be the best way to do it, but if I explain what I'm going to do in a second, it will work. Yeah, that's on. What I'm going to do, let's get the torch a little bit nearer. I'm going to clean the carb on there rather than take it off and risk muck getting in from the ends. At the moment, I'm just going to give it a go with the carbs on it, so I can try it quicker basically, and then if it runs all right, I'll leave it. If not, I'll get a carb kit for it. So if we have to turn it around now, and then we've got them, which I have gone thrown everywhere now, but where are 1, 2, 3, we've got the 3 bolts that go in behind this, behind the fan. One in. This is the one that wasn't cut, so I expect it to be a little bit tighter. So yeah, I'll just get them tightened up and then I'll be back with you. So the exhaust is on nice and tight. I'll just double check the bolts once more, but I'm a bit worried about them. Let's go on up a bit more. What I should do, I'm a bit worried about them because I don't want, the bolts ain't that wide or big and they could easily snap, but yep, so we're ready. I did take the fan off the other machine because it was nicer. Dusty for some reason. Regna had been used as a vac as well, but not as much as the other one, so we'll wind that back on there like so. Yep, and then there's one washer behind and one in front, if you remember from before. What am I after now? After that, and I'm after that. Then remember, it's got to go the opposite way, because it's a left-hand free one. So we are done on there. So now I've got the coil off of the other machine. I've done it all, actually I'll wind that round. I've got it all off in sort of one, so it slips straight back on. Stupidly I've gone and forgot which wire goes where, but we'll sort out that in a minute. I think it was black at the back, but we'll have to see. Need my tools. It's another one. This is another bit that's going to have to, I think it'll re-thread itself. I'll just go on with that and I'll be back with you. So I've got that on. It was easy actually. I'm a bit out of practice. I haven't been playing around with tools not for quite a while. And if you can just look there, one is bigger than the other one, so it's easy to get the right one in the right place. Now I just need, I had them the other day and I don't know what I've done with them. Playing card or a card just to get the air gap right. Actually, this is just a bit of card. Actually, I bought some car boot sale stuff once and it was there. You see that? It's a football ticket from what year? I don't know, am I just missing it? Anyway, it's when Arsenal played Hamburg in the Champions League. So yeah, it come in a box of cards, like Pokemon cards or something. When I used to do me sort of car boot stuff a bit more. Well, when I did it, I don't do it now. It's come in use, it's had a second use. So I'm back on this blower now. We have spark. The reason it didn't have spark is actually because the drill, I was running this engine over too slow. When I put it on the second speed, I had spark then. So that's all good. Basically, it's all back together now, really. I think I'll probably strip it back down after actually properly tested it, just to clean the carb, because I don't think I'll mess around taking the compressor, getting out and everything. So I've got somewhere in here, if I can find it, I've got the recoil cover, so I can pull it. I've got to put the other side back on, just fan housing, which I'll probably do now actually. I don't know which one it was now. I've got two here now. I'm actually itching to get on that one's a little bit cleaner out of the two. I'm actually itching to get on with the next project now. I've got to have a little bit of a clear up, then the next project. This one, yeah, hopefully it'll be done. So yeah, I've only got a few screws in there now to go back in. I'm going to have to find some for the recoil, because the recoil covers weren't on these in the first place, so I'm going to have to find them. So I'll just whack them, and you can see me do that with the impact. So now I'll get these back in. If Probably won't hear the noise, but my dog is going mad behind the shed. He thinks he can smell something, or saying there shouldn't be anything around there much now. Because we no longer have any, we don't no longer have a chicken now, so chickens always encourage the odd rodent. He could just be playing with his toy. But anyway, let's get this back together. I think I got one out the other day with a pipe on it, the main blower pipe, so we'll get that on as well, and then we'll probably be ready for start up then. So yeah, that's all on now. So what I've just got to do is find the recoil, get it on that and put the pipe on, and then we can see if it starts up. There we are, we've got that on there. Yeah, it's pulling the engine okay. These are quite expensive, the recoil covers. They, I think now they're basically trying to do things so you don't bother repairing them. You just, I'll do this by hand. Yeah, you don't bother repairing them. You just buy new. That's how everything's sort of going a little bit now. But if I can save them, I saved the BR350, and that's working great. Apart from a little problem with something sticking in the carb this year after leaving it the winter, it's been spot on. I didn't do the pot and piston on there because they're a bit of a different setup. You can't really buy the pot and piston, but I managed to get a piston and rings, cleaned the bore up the best I could, and it was yeah, it was a success. It's been a good machine. It's probably our second backpack blower now we use. This one is going to probably just live in the Land Rover to use for just certain jobs where I use the Land Rover, so I haven't got to keep messing around changing things from one vehicle to another. I think there was only 3 on there. Yeah, there's only 3 on there, so some of the screws out the other ones have helped. I've got loads of little bits and pieces here. I'll bag them all up and label them. We've got to put that on. So that's all good. I need some petrol. Oh, I've still got to do the little carb bit. Goes in first. It does. Then I think that probably goes on there, like so. Lazy on my own one. I've only ever changed the filter once, but it's actually a slightly different filter. So that's on. After fighting a little bit, I realised how it went. That just goes in like so, and that, there's a little tab bit there, just see it. Well, that should just lock in okay now. And when you want to get it off, you just have to get something just to press in there and push that little tab down, and then it twists off. And yeah, that's the pipe on. There's a little end bit. So for the bottom piece of the pipe, that just goes in like so, there. And then it locks around like that. Oh, I've got to hold that to do that, but that's how it goes, simple enough. So now I'll get some fuel and we'll see if it's a runner. Should be. This is well, it actually says SH86, Stihl SH86, but it's the same as the BR86 as well. So it's all back together now. I've cheekily tried it before and it seemed to be okay, but this is the proper real test. Which way is the choke? I should know. Yep, choke there. So there you go. You can see it's all running well. I do find these ones, it's a bit cold this morning anyway, I do find that they take a while to warm up, and then they work fine. But yeah, it's nice little machine that is. It cost me around £40 really. I didn't really put anything else on it. I did put a new plug in it, which I already had, so they're a couple of quid or so. So yeah, for say well under £50, I've got a blower that's been refurbed. So yeah, that'll be a handy little tool. So I hope you've enjoyed the series of making a good blower from about 2 or 3, and yeah, we've succeeded, and it's a good runner. So if I wanted to sell this, I'd probably get around, I reckon around 125, 130 for it, roughly about the half price of what one would be new. But yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this one. I'll probably get rid of some other blowers I've got and keep this one as my sort of second handheld one, because I like these. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this series, and I'll be along with another video again soon. So thanks for watching.